It's story time with Sarah. And today we are reading Brave Bitsy and the Bear, written by Angela McAllister and illustrated by Tiffany Beak. Little Bitsy fell out of her girl's pocket in the woods one autumn afternoon. Thump! Help! She cried, but her girl didn't hear. Bitsy looked around. The trees were so tall, the woods were so quiet. I'm lost and all alone, she trembled, but I must try to find my way home. So she set off, singing a brave song. Bitsy had not gone far when she heard a growl. A big brown bear stepped out from the trees. Bitsy hid behind her ears. Are you lost, little one? Asked the bear gently. Yes, said Bitsy. I have to find my house. It has a blue door. Well, I was on my way to my cave, said the bear. It's time for my long winter sleep, but climb onto my back and I'll take you home first. They began to tramp through the woods, but soon Bear yawned. Oh, I'm so very tired, but don't let me rest, or I'll fall asleep and I shan't wake up until spring. So Bitsy sang him one of her most bouncy, wide-awake songs. When Bear's eyelids grew heavy, Bitsy sang a marching song and drummed with her heels to keep him awake. When Bear sat down for a snooze, Bitsy gave a loud "Tarantara!" until he carried on. At last, Bitsy saw her house with a blue door. Thank you for bringing me home, she said. Bear smiled sleepily. Goodbye, my friend. Good night. And he shuffled wearily back into the woods to find his cave. That night, Bitsy sat on the windowsill, thinking of her friend. Did Bear reach his cave, or did he fall asleep on the way? There was no one to sing and keep him awake, she thought sadly. Outside, snow began to fall, thick and fast. By morning, icicles hung at the window. If Bear has fallen asleep on his way to his cave, he'll freeze under the snow, thought Bitsy. I must try to find him. So, taking a ball of wool from the knitting basket, she lifted the latch and climbed out of the window. Then she tied the end of the wool to the garden gate and set off, singing a hopeful song. Bitsy searched every snowdrift, but she couldn't find Bear. On and on she went, until the wool came to an end. She tied it to a loose thread of her jumper and carried on. Bear, Bear, are you there? She sang, but no one answered. Her jumper grew shorter and shorter. At last, it unravelled completely. Tired and shivering with cold, Bitsy could go no further. Just then, she heard a loud and there was Bear, fast asleep, with his head in his paws. Bitsy shook him. Wake up! She cried, and sang with all her heart. But Bear didn't stir. He'll freeze unless I help him, she thought. So she brushed the snow from Bear's coat and tugged some bracken across his back. But the wind blew it off, and fresh snowflakes fell. Bitsy hugged Bear's neck, but she had no warmth to give. Then suddenly, Bitsy heard a rustling and a scratching. Out from the trees peeped the creatures of the wood. We heard you singing, little rabbit, they said. We're Bear's friends too. We can help him together. The beavers built a shelter of wood. The foxes fetched bracken, and the squirrels brought moss for a blanket. Soon Bear was warm again. "Goodbye, my friend. Good night," said Bitsy. Then she followed the wool all the way home and climbed back into her girl's cosy bed. As she drifted off to sleep, Bitsy thought of Bear under his mossy blanket in the snow and hoped that he would keep warm all winter long. On the first morning of spring, Bitsy ran to find Bear, singing her sunniest waking song. "Hello, little one," said Bear. "Why, somebody made me such a cosy bed. That was the best winter sleep I've ever had." Bitsy hugged him tight and smiled happily to herself, and in the woods, all around, Bear's friends smiled too. The end.